Hello fam, how are you doing? I hope you're all doing okay. Thank you so much for your support. I do appreciate. We just hit 4,000 subscribers. We are now road to 5,000 subscribers. So if you are my returning subscriber, thank you so much. I love you. Thank you for your support. I do appreciate. And if you're new to this channel, welcome. I love visitors. Feel at home. Make this your place by subscribing and turning on notification bell. So anytime I upload a new video, you will always be notified, Thank you so much, guys. I appreciate you for your love. So in today's video, we are going to listen to Mia Mottley, the Prime Minister of Barbados. I was told I should say Barbados. Oh my God. I'm going to learn that, yeah. So who doesn't love to listening to her? For me, I love her so much. Yeah, she makes me believe in women leadership. When she stands up, when she speaks, you're like, wow, this is what we want. Yeah, she makes us women so proud. We're like, yeah, we really have good women leaders. Yeah, so let's listen to this speech that she made about the climate change. We know climate change is affecting all of us like daily. So let's listen to what she had to say, this powerful speech. Then I can come back with more comments at the end of the video. So kindly give the video a like, share, comment, and subscribe. See you at the end of the video. Kindly watch till the end.
Thank you. Good morning, and thank you very much, Mick. Good morning to everyone. It is a pleasure to be here. This week is like a week of trying to get the message home to everyone in the hope that people will leave here and reflect and make the decisions that will actually make a difference to the lives of people. And why? Because with every year, the situation gets more challenging. With every year, we are finding that there are circumstances that we have to deal with that we didn't have to before. I'm told the news this morning in New York is that one person died from EEE, a mosquito-borne disease. Mosquitoes are not typically associated with this type of weather. Mosquitoes are associated with warmer weather. Mosquitoes are associated in this country with Florida, not New York. And that should cause everyone in here to pause. I sat next to the governor of Arizona 2 days ago and heard that they had 100 days above 100 degrees in Phoenix. I reflected on the fact that July 22nd was the hottest day of the year. And then we ask ourselves, how long will we take to make decisions that are fundamental to building resilience? And it was only as recent as the last COP that we finally brought together the issue of climate and health. I want us to reflect on this because when the Bridgetown initiative speaks to asking for more funding, that's not the destination. Finance is not the destination. That's just the oxygen. And it therefore means that if we're having as much difficulty in securing that finance, even though there have been some improvements, and don't get me wrong, but it means that we still have a lot of heavy lifting to do once we access that financing, because you still have to build out what it is you were planning to build out to build the resilience. And the health systems in this part of the country are just not suited to having to deal with those conditions. Now, this is New York, so you'll eventually get it right quicker and faster than most. But imagine now these set of circumstances translated into other regions of the world where they're not even being able to deal traditionally with some of the basic public health issues and some of the basic infrastructural issues that they have had to work with. We are, therefore, at an inflection point. I believe that the leadership of the financial institutions understands it. They genuinely do. And they get it, and we've seen Ajay Banga take some brave early decisions, not just on climate disaster-related clauses, but indeed on creating a new 50-year loan instrument for middle-income, small island states across boundaries for anything that leads to cross-boundary action with respect to climate. But the definition is probably too narrow, because we don't only need cross-boundary, we need within country, because the climate crisis is hitting within country. Kristalina Georgieva at the IMF has established the Resilience and Sustainability Trust, and that is the first instrument that the fund has ever used to be able to lend to middle-income vulnerable countries within this context at a 20-year loan at concessional rates. But even when we take these things, where else they may want to go and where else we definitely need them to go, the disconnect between the ministers of finance and the heads of government is an unacceptable disconnect, particularly given the fact that we do not have the time to make the differences. So where are we going? We will reveal Bridgetown 3.0 this week, and we will launch it formally at the annual meetings. But it is effectively premised on three things. One, our ability to change the rules of the game. If there is not somebody at the table who understands the circumstances of everybody, they are likely to make mistakes, not wickedly, not intentionally, but perhaps even innocently. But small states don't have a buffer to even recover from innocent mistakes. Two, that we need to shock-proof vulnerable economies. The reality is that economies like my own, where we have walked the walk to be able to come out of the depths of being a low-income country, are immediately put at risk because of the climate crisis, either through singular events like hurricanes, and as we speak today, we wonder where and how Tropical Storm Helen will develop as a hurricane. And God knows that Cuba cannot take any more at this point in time, particularly given the regrettable and unfortunate, I almost said wicked, designation of them as an state actor of terrorism, which is curious for me since the only experience Barbados had with terrorism was when a Cubana plane was bombed and 50-something people killed off of our island. But that's another story for another day. So that you have these hurricanes threatening and hitting, and immediately the pauperization process starts because we suffer from overnight wipeout risk. A hurricane hits Florida, the rest of the United States of America goes on with its life. A hurricane hits the Bahamas or Barbados or St. Kitts or St. Vincent or Antigua, everything pauses for months. And people's lives are dislocated, as we saw, in too many examples within recent years. So shock-proofing vulnerable economies is about allowing us to be able to still recover. And that's why the natural disaster clauses are so important. And while it's been given to governments, we need now to make sure that the private sector entities with private instruments also have access to it, because invariably, private sector will also lose considerably in a hurricane. And the beauty of the natural disaster clause is that it preserves the loan contract for the benefit of both parties. It just has clear terms as to what will happen should it hit. There is no company, entity, or country that will give Barbados the equivalent of the almost 20% of GDP that we would get if we were badly hit by a serious hurricane. No one over a 2-year period. And that is the genius of that little legal clause, resetting the relationship between the borrower and the lender. And then the third aspect of Bridgetown is about literally augmenting the resources that are necessary in order to be able for us to do what has to be done. And we know it. We know that we need to augment it because for every dollar spent now, we save $5 to $7 in property damage. And the reality is that the rate at which the temperatures are increasing, the rate at which the incidents are affecting us, we have a decade or so to build the resilience to minimize the loss of life and to minimize the damage. It is against that backdrop that I ask us to use our influence in whatever way, in our communities and families, to bring levels of awareness and hopefully to inspire activism, because the real problem is that if we can't get ministers of finance and heads of government to agree, then we will continue with this status quo. But if the domestic populations, through activism, say, hey, we're the ones who the mosquitoes are going to be biting, we're the ones who are going to be affected by the flooding, we're the ones who are going to have to look to relocate if you don't take serious action, then maybe the penny will drop that what is needed now is consistency of action, unity of purpose, and above all else, global moral strategic leadership. We have no other planet from which we can sustain life at this point in time. And it is against that backdrop, therefore, that speech after speech, event after event, we will continue going because the consequences are potentially too dread. But we have already seen what intervention can do and the difference it can make with the initiatives that have been put before us by the banks already. It is up to us now, however, to recognize that let it not be said that we did too little, too late, and too much was lost. I thank you.
So I know you may wonder what's climate change. So climate change, it's a long-term shift, in weather patterns and temperatures, and it causes a lot of things, flooding, let's talk about water scarcity, drought. Oh my god. So I know maybe from where you are we have experienced one or two things about the climate change, and this is a very big topic that we have to talk about. People have to be told these things. Like here in Kenya, we experience that a lot, in Turkana there's a time there's a drought, people can't get water, the livestock die because they can't get any feeds, no water, people die, we lose a lot of people because of that. And when the rains come, it's heavy rains, people are displaced, they don't have homes, people are swept away, their homes are swept away. So you can see the weather change usually affects us in one thing or another. If it's not the sun, it's the rain. If it's not the rain, the solar, when solar ice, melting ice is just about the sun. The polars, I think, is all about the sun. So we have to talk about this thing, and it's a really big topic that has to be shared with your friends. So kindly make sure you share this video with your friends, let them also learn something about this video. We learn from one another. When you hear from this video, we learn from the Prime Minister Mia Mottley. We'll know, yes, we have to do this. I'll learn from my friend, I'll learn from one video, I'll learn from another video. So it's good when we share with our friends and know what's going on, so this was it. I hope you have enjoyed the video. Kindly give it a like, share, comment, and subscribe to the channel if you have not. I'll see you in the next video. Right now, it's just a bye.